I'm so tired. Why am I doing this? I hope this kicks in soon because my eyes are getting bleary. I don't recommend doing this. Cancel the video. I'm done. 10 hours. This is fine. I'm actually so fine right now. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. Boom! Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney and this is going to be the first time I'm attempting reading for 24 hours straight challenge. I have done the 24-hour timer method where I just hit play on a stopwatch every time that I read and wait till it becomes 24 hours. That's a very different challenge than the kind that I'm going to be attempting today. I have opted to start at evening time. It is almost 7:30 I think, and that's probably going to be when I start because I feel like it would just kind of be nice to be able to sleep right after. But that means that we're going to be starting off in the night times with poor lighting, so just stick with me through the poor lighting hours. Shadow. Stop. Thank you. So, yes, this is going to be my attempt at pulling an all-nighter. I am hoping to stay awake. I have energy drinks. I don't like coffee. I feel like the caffeine effects don't really work on me, but I kind of want to see if energy drinks will work. So I got a Celsius, and then I also have a Bang and a Monster in the fridge for when that time comes. I don't really have any opinions on what energy drinks I like, so this is going to be the start of that journey. I didn't find any Alani, and I know that those are beloved, so maybe next time. Yeah, so I'm gonna try my very best to stay awake. So let's talk about TBR. Okay, what? So this is my March TBR. Oh boy. And I don't know if I'm going to be picking up like a whole lot of these. I don't think this is all I'm going to be reading because a lot of these are just like fantasies, and while fantasy is my most favorite and forever will be my most favorite genre, I feel like that's not a great option for a sleep-deprived brain. So I'm going to start out with those maybe, and then when I'm really struggling I might move on to, I have a couple thrillers, but I am making my way through Cruel Illusions currently, and to be quite honest, I am not super impressed with this. The concept is sick. Like, I really like the concept of this book. Like, if I tell you the concept, you'd be like, oh, that's so cool, I want to pick it up. But like the writing and the execution does not come through, at least for me. I feel like, I don't know, there's just a lot of like execution and wording and the scenes that she decides to depict that are just not interesting, and I feel like does not do this really cool concept justice. So the concept is like urban fantasy slash like realistic fantasy, like it's in our universe, but recently some fantastical elements have come to light that exist in our world, such as vampires. Vampires have kind of come out of the woodwork and confessed that they exist, which means a lot to our main character because her mother was murdered by one. And so she has a hatred for vampires, kind of understandably. But there's also the existence of kind of magic. Both of them, our main characters' parents were stage magicians, and they were like really awesome illusionists, but some of the stuff that they did was like so unexplainable that our character was like, is that an illusion or is that actual magic? And her parents are like, no, it's illusion, trust me. And she's like, and then they both died. And she's kind of discovering that she has magical powers of her own, and she finds this like performative magic troupe that she wants to join, but they're like, oh, if you want to join our magic troupe, you have to like do this competition and join our league of actual magicians. And so that's a really cool concept. I was like, freaking sign me up. But it's so hard to read. I feel like the writing doesn't flow very well. She doesn't emphasize the right things, where like something shocking will happen, but I don't even realize that it's shocking because I'm just kind of like reading la 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 la, like hoping it'll flow well, but then like I apparently skip past information that I didn't even know was there, and I'm like, wait, I could have sworn I read all the words, but that just did not register. Like, and so I feel like she has a hard time with emphasizing the right things and like reiterating the right things, and also the scenes that she decides to tell are very like boring. Like, they're not what I want to see. Like, I want to see her training. Like, when we finally get a scene of her training, then it like cuts off from that and it's like, let's have a girls' night out. And I was like, I don't want to see that. I want to see the interesting stuff. And so that was kind of a pain. I was attempting to read it during my vacation, and I was like, I don't want to read this during vacation. So I read We Hunt the Flame instead. So that's the last book that I read. So I'm gonna try and pick this one back up. I really don't want to DNF it because I feel like the concept is good enough where I just want to see it out. I want to see if it's going to become anything cool. But yeah, I have a lot of fantasy here, but I also have A Man Called Ove, and I feel like this will be kind of a retribution. Is that what it's called? A respite. Not a retribution, oh my gosh. This will be kind of a respite from the fantasticalness that I'll probably be reading about. Although the respite is not going to be fantastic because I'm probably going to be crying instead of being confused and using my brain. Because I've heard this one's a tearjerker. So that's awesome. But I also have this as an audiobook for when my eyes inevitably will get tired and I can't focus on a page anymore and I need it to be read to me. So that's going to be really nice. That's going to be nice. That is a plan as well. I also have, other than my TBR, if it is needed, I have this thriller called The Stranger by Harlan Coben. My sister told me about this guy because she's been watching his miniseries on Netflix. So I was like, I'll pick up a book by him. And so I picked up The Stranger and apparently it's really good. If I need something thrilling that will keep me awake through the witching hours, would be great. So yeah, these are some options, but this is my TBR that I really want to get done during this month, so I'm going to always be trying to go for these, but those are just some backups that I have. I don't even think I'm going to be reading that many books. So this is a lot. Max, I feel like I'll read 4 because my attention span inevitably will run out at some point. I just won't be able to read very fast. So I want to get started. Okay, it's past 7:30. I wasn't looking at the clock. So I want to get started probably at 8. So let's go from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I'll see you guys when I actually start reading. Alright, so I am now an hour and 10 minutes into the challenge, and I'm now over halfway through this book, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more. Maybe I just had to put everything else aside and just focus on reading this book if this is kind of the book that you just have to pay more attention to. I wasn't going in with those expectations, and so maybe that's why I was like, why is this so hard for me to read? Because I was pretty kind of occupied every time I tried to read this book, and so I just have to, and there's some books that I can do that with, I can have people talking around me and read, but that was really hard to do with this book in particular, so I just have to be alone, be able to focus purely on this, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. There's kind of a love triangle going on, and I'm really liking it. I feel like the way that this love triangle is done isn't very annoying. It's I don't know, it actually feels like a lot of tension and oh, which one is she gonna choose? Both of them have their points of positivity and negativity, and I guess those are called pros and cons. And there's one that I'm rooting for in particular, and I really hope she ends up with it, personally. It's interesting that this is a standalone because I feel like this is a fleshed out enough world that this could be a series. My hands are so shaky from the energy drink. It was only published 2 years ago, so maybe it is a standalone then, because maybe she would have come out with a sequel since if it was meant to be, but I don't really feel like looking that up. But yeah, this energy drink is just making my hands really shaky, but I think I am focusing a little bit better. It's not that late. It's only 9:11. Ooh. That's bad luck. Yeah, I'm enjoying my time so far, not struggling yet. I'm sure I will at some point, but I'm glad that the struggle points is going to be the first points so that when the sun comes up, I'll be a little less depressed and a little more okay with staying awake. So that is the hope, but I'm just going to keep on reading.
A few moments later.
And just like that, there is a whole sequence of events that happened that made absolutely no sense. I swear, I'm is there something wrong with my eyes? I don't think so, because I keep on rereading the same paragraphs. Did I miss something? It's some things are under-described and some things are, sometimes just the wrong things are described. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it without specifically stating the circumstances that I'm talking about. But it's just is this a debut novel? I don't think so, but it kind of feels that way because the writing is so wonky sometimes. The scenes that she has with a particular character are usually really good, but then those end and then it just goes back to being I'm not into it. I don't know. Yeah, I am gonna keep reading it, but I think it's gonna take me a while. That's too bad, but what can you do? It's just past 1, and so that means 5 hours in. So, finished the first book, and I actually have a lot of thoughts about this book because I feel like there were some really cool moments. There was one setting that was pretty prevalent that was really cool. It was this castle, and it had a medieval feel, especially because there was a lot of gown wearing and feast attendants and stuff. It just felt fantasy and medieval. And so it makes me kind of wish that the rest of the story was like that. Like I kind of wish that it was just fully fantasy, but maybe the author just didn't want to go through the trouble of creating an entire fantasy world. I don't know, but I feel like the story would have benefited from that because up till that point the story was not great. Yeah, all the scenes that were just in our world just felt so, I don't know, like I feel like there was no point in making it our world. And I feel like it could have easily been translated, like the important stuff could have easily been translated into a fantasy world. So that sucks. So that will lower the rating for sure. There was a lot of really cool scenes. I just feel like it really could have been better, especially just like with the writing in the descriptions. Like the things that did happen were pretty cool and I liked them, but the way that they were presented and described definitely could have been better. I feel like way better examples of fantastical, kind of haunting, kind of dark, kind of harrowing things happening. Much better examples of that are Night Circus and Caraval. Those authors just do a much better job at describing supernatural things. I feel like whenever something supernatural happened in this, it wasn't explained in a right way, and so I had a hard time visualizing it. So yeah, I probably am gonna give this like a 3-star because the highs were high and the lows were low. So yeah, it'd probably be about a 3-star, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I feel like the cool moments were pretty worth it. So I guess I would recommend if you are a fan of the kind of like haunting, dark magic, not dark as in like demonic. It's just like imagery. The imagery is more dark, if that makes sense. I had like the perfect ambiance in the background. There's like a bunch of like vampire related reading ambiance videos on YouTube, and I feel like all of them were so perfect. Like the piano and like it was just like a perfect ambiance for this kind of story. So if that intrigues you, then I guess you can check this out. It's 500 pages exactly. And I was like, man, are they gonna be able to tell like an entire story with that? But they did. So there you go. I feel like the ending was suitable, like it did fit. I was like wondering if the ending would make me wish for a sequel, but I feel like I'm glad that the story ended there. So I'm gonna go pick out another book. Okay, so I think I've settled on this book, A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford, purely because of the size and just the fact that it seems like a book that wouldn't require a whole lot of brain power to read. I know that it's a fantasy, and I know that it is a combination of a bunch of different fairy tales, and that is the extent of what I know because I got this book for Christmas. So I have no idea what it's about. It's never been recommended to me or anything, but it's super short. So what can the harm be? How long is it exactly? It is 373 pages. So under 400 pages in my book is pretty short. So let's hope that we can get through this pretty quick, especially because we're kind of nearing the witching hours. And I'm kind of feeling okay. I am usually a night owl, so I think that I'm gonna feel the most effects tomorrow. And it's not gonna be that hard for me to not sleep in these hours, but when the sun comes up, I'm probably gonna be feeling it. That's my prediction. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and read this one, and I'll just let you guys know how I feel and what I think because I do not know at all what this is about. Great. Okay, this is about a bunch of people who are part wolf. Wolf people. Okay, well, that's good to know. Oh boy. I just need to get past this. I wish I'd known that before walking into this. I just need to overcome my bias. Okay, it's about wolf people. This is fine. I don't know if I want to read this, quite honestly. I don't know. Okay, well, so it seems like this book is very Sleeping Beauty inspired, which is kind of fun because I just watched Sleeping Beauty today. I feel like I've never actually watched that all the way through, but I did today and I really liked it. And I feel like this is just kind of butchering it. Totally like removing the point of that fairy tale and like completely changing it. I don't know, like I don't love that. There's one thing to do like a twisted fairy tale and one for it to just completely, I don't know how to explain it, but basically the concept is like if Aurora had a twin sister and that twin sister was super into fighting and being like a tomboy and not being a lady, and so her and her twin sister have been like hidden away in this forest for their whole childhood and all that with a fairy godmother, kind of. So that part is very much like Sleeping Beauty, but the prince that's betrothed to the sister is actually in love with the main character, who's the other twin. And they're like, oh, they're so opposite. Like one is super girly and the other one isn't. And one is like all lithe and skinny and the other one has curves. Like, whoa. I don't know what's the problem that I have with like that as a character trait of like, oh my gosh, she has hips. Like that's crazy. Like everyone is like, oh my gosh, she has hips. I'm like, okay, there's a few professions that have like an ideal body type that is like weird about hips. The two that I can think of is like ballet and runway models that just want like stick like body types. But if you're not those, I don't see why hips would at all be like a bad thing. And I'd like, since when? Since when has that not been a beauty standard? Like even in the olden times, they like wanted a curvy person. So I just don't, I'm like, how, ugh. That's not a character trait. That's not a personality trait. I can see like in Crescent City, the main character is curvy and she always wanted to be a ballerina and she was like made fun of for that or, you know, ostracized for that. And I can kind of understand that, but still that's like a beautiful body type. Objectively, like I don't understand why that would be such a point of like insecurity or like maybe insecurity, but like for other people to make fun of her for that, for when she's just existing. She's not even trying to be a ballerina. She's not even breaking the mold. She's literally just has white hips and is existing. I don't understand. I don't know. But that's not why. I just don't want to read this. Like I feel like it's so just the values that it's putting across, but also the how it's kind of just so cliche. Like I lose track of how many fantasies I've read that have this main character, this exact main character. But it's like that but with wolf people. So it's like, so yeah, they're like, even not considering that, it's already kind of cringe, but then you add that in and you're just like, I can't get past this. So yeah, in this world, the ruling class is like people that can turn into wolves and have like wolf features and like smell people and have mates and like all the stuff, all of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to read it. There's some overarching reasons, but also just like reading it, I'm not enjoying it. I don't know if that means I should keep going. I don't know. I just don't like it. So I might just move on. I wasted some time with it though, so that's too bad, but oh. And I see that the author looks exactly like the main character, which like no judgment, but it's like obviously I see a lot of authors making themselves look exactly like their main characters because it's like, I can be strong too. People like me can be strong too. So I get that, but I don't know. Is it just unimaginative? My late thoughts are coming out and I feel like none of them are like fully fleshed out. They're just kind of like, oh, I feel like this is a thing that happens a lot. Like for instance, the book that I just read, I feel like there's so many blonde characters, like almost every single character is blonde, and then I flip back and I see that the author's blonde. So I don't know, is that like a negative thing for just the author to put themselves in the book? Is that negative or is that just like a thing? I don't know. Because I know that Sarah J Maas does that too, where it's like all of her main characters are all like beautiful girls that can also be tough, because she always felt like people were saying that if you're a beautiful girl you can't be tough. So she's like proving them wrong. Not a negative thing, I don't know, it's just like an observation that I'm just kind of like, you don't have to put yourself in every book you write, but like, do you guys know what I'm saying? I'm not coherent right now. It is almost 2, so maybe it's time for another energy drink. But I need to go pick out another book because yeah, I don't really feel like reading something like that, honestly. I've moved past it. I'm not in that era of my life anymore. I am not gonna enjoy a book like that. I just know it. So I'm gonna pick out another book and hopefully I can actually comprehend the words. Okay, yeah, it's definitely hitting me. Okay, this one is blue raz flavored. I don't know why I picked it, but you know, I like blue. Okay, I've chosen These Infinite Threads to read next. It's the second book in the series that I don't know the name of, but the first book is called This Woven Kingdom. It's like an Arabian, Middle Eastern fantasy world where there's 2 different kinds of races. There's one that's like magical and one that's not, like basically just humans. And our main character is a magical person, except those are like illegal, I think. They're like hunted down or like extinct or something like that. But our main character is magical. It's also kind of Cinderella-ish because a big plot is that there's like a ball going on and the main character wants to go, yeah. But she's also like falling in love with the prince. Like she keeps coming across the prince because she's a servant in the palace. I'm literally like trying so hard to recollect because I read this so long ago. But yeah, she's like a dressmaker, or she wants to be a dressmaker, but she's actually just like a servant in this palace because she's dirt poor, an orphan. Yeah, pretty sure. So, but there was like a really funny cliffhanger at the end of this. Not funny, just like sudden and like, what? I mean, yeah, it was kind of funny. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Okay. I was mad that it had this kind of like short cover, but like, look how pretty that is. Not even mad anymore. Okay. Well, that's our main character and the prince, I think. I forget what he looks like, but Okay, I hope this kicks in soon because my eyes are getting bleary, which means my reading speed will be even slower, so yay. Where am I at? Okay, we're at 6 hours. All right, so let's start. Oh, there's the infinite threads. I'm realizing how much I forgot about the end of this book. That was dramatic. This book has made me laugh out loud so many times already. I'm this far through, so over halfway, but this is really funny. And the romance is so good. I'm enjoying it so far. I do not know where it's gonna go from here, but I'm really liking it. I feel like the banter is hilarious. That's why I keep on laughing, and it's such an interesting situation. I don't know, it's like very intriguing. I like it. Done. I'm not even halfway through. I am so tired. Somebody save me. Why am I doing this? There's literally not a good reason except views. Oh boy. I haven't even finished this. I stopped drinking it. This is a good book. I don't know if it's just the sleep deprivation, but I haven't like giggled and been this into a romance in a while, I feel like. Maybe it's just the sleep deprivation, but I was so into it. I was just like, I need this to happen. So definitely points for that. Serious question here. Why is it that when there's a fantasy world that's like based in a Persian / Arabian / Middle Eastern style kingdom, why are they still all white? Serious question. Like, I'm not accusing the authors of anything, but like it just makes a lot of sense to me that they would be of the ethnicity that is normally in that area. And I feel like the fan art and the descriptions of the characters, I'm like, these all just seem like regular European centric fantasy characters. I don't know. Am I crazy? Because I just read We Hunt the Flame and it's the same way. Because that's supposed to be all Arabian, but then the descriptions of the characters, I'm like, I think these people are white. Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. So that's a serious question that I have. I don't know if it's just because books like to put a lot of emphasis on hair and eye color, and normally people of that ethnicity all have a similar hair and eye color, and so they don't want to, like, I don't know. Is that why? Because that's a dumb reason. Anyway, that's just what my all-nighter brain is coming up with. The sun is about to rise. I see the sky is lightening up a little bit, so that's fun. What time is it? It's 7:06, so that's kind of a late sunrise, but we're in March, so you know, that's how it is. Oh my gosh, I've already read from 3 books. I know I didn't finish the second one. Should I? I don't know. It just seems so cringy. I don't know. I just hate DNFing stuff because I feel like then I can't give a definitive answer for how I feel about it because I only gave it a little bit of a chance, you know? But at the same time, I don't want to waste more of my time on a book that I don't like. If I do read it, maybe I just won't read it for this challenge. Like, maybe I'll pick it up later, but for this challenge, I feel like I need something that I actually like. So right now I'm thinking either A Man Called Ove or The Stranger is kind of what I'm thinking right now, because all the other books on my TBR I feel like would take a little bit too much brain power, and I feel like I can't really do that right now. They're also like the first books in series. This one was a little bit easier because I've already been acquainted with this world, and so I'm not like, wait, what's happening? So that's helpful. Oh my gosh. This book is so good. I might give it like a 4.5. I don't know. I might just be like brain fogged, but I liked it, okay? I liked it. I need to update my reading trackers. I can do that off camera. I don't know why I'm doing that right now. But I'm probably gonna give that a 4.5. I don't know, that was really good. What did I give the first book? When did I read that? That must have been a while ago. Oh, I gave it 4 star? I can't tell because Goodreads doesn't let me do half stars. But somewhere around there, it was like, it's good. Yeah, it was pretty good. But then I was just like, oh my gosh, I seriously never react this way to romances, so that can tell you something. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. But yeah, I definitely recommend. I didn't pick this up until, I mean, I read the first one in like July. So it took me a while to pick this one back up. I wish I'd done it sooner because that was good. It was too short. It was too short. I was like, no, I don't want it to end. Good thing she's already come out with her other book, her next book. But I don't want to buy the hardback, so Anyway, I'm just stalling because I need a break from reading. I literally just read for 4 hours straight. I might do The Stranger because I want to save Man Called Ove for when I need an audiobook. I don't know, do I need an audiobook right now? I think I can wait till later for that. So I think I'll do The Stranger, especially because that one's like a thriller. Although, you do still need to use your brain for that because it's like a mystery and I might get confused. No, I think my brain is fine. My brain is fine. Clearly, I'm thinking like on my best that I've ever thought. So I think I'm fine. I can handle big brain mysteries. I can probably solve it. I'll solve it, okay? Watch me. Oh, I hardly ever wake up early enough to watch the sunrise, so this is nice. The key is just to not go to sleep. Therefore, you don't have to deal with waking up. There's a life hack for you. I'm not convinced that the body even needs sleep. Just like stay up. Don't try that at home, kids. That was a joke. I used to actually think that we didn't actually need sleep and it was just like, anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna go get The Stranger and gonna start on that one. I don't know how long that is. Let me grab it. Okay, so The Stranger looks like it is under 400 pages. So that's nice. That won't take me too long. And the type is also pretty big. So yay. Looks like this is about the same length. So we got 2 more kind of shortish books to blast through, hopefully. After I read this, I'll only have 3 more books left on my March TBR, so fun. I'm excited. I am going to go ahead and read this. The sun is up. As soon as I saw the sun, I got like a lot more energy. That doesn't mean that I'm, you know, awake or anything, but like I am more awake than I was. So I'm a little bit of the way through. I'm definitely reading slower, especially because we're meeting a lot of people at the beginning and I want to make sure that I know who every person is, so I like reread a lot of stuff. That is the thing about mysteries. Usually you're meeting a lot of people and have to keep track of a lot of characters and how they're connected to other characters, and there's probably going to be a lot revealed along the way. Some people are going to be like mysteriously related to other people. That always happens. But it's called The Stranger because our story opens up with our main character at a bar and a stranger just like randomly comes up to him and is like, hey, you know how your wife just had a miscarriage? Well, she lied about the pregnancy and the miscarriage, so just thought you should know that. And he's just like, what? And he's like, yeah, your wife faked her pregnancy. And he's just like, what? And so it kind of like leads him down this path, and I'm not very far down the path yet, but he investigates and he pretty much confirms that his wife did fake the pregnancy, but like he doesn't know why, and so we're still like figuring out a lot of stuff. But that's why it's called The Stranger. This guy just like showed up out of nowhere, like on page 1, literally, like, just, hey, your wife faked her pregnancy. So we'll see how it goes. Since I watched the Netflix series of Fool Me Once, I kind of have a little bit of a grasp on what kind of thing this author might do. And it usually like, I mean, this is kind of typical for mysteries in general, but like it starts off with one thing that's like the catalyst, like that's a big reveal, like, wait, what? There's something more going on here. And then there's just like detail after detail after detail that's like connected, and it's all related. Like they find out stuff that's unrelated, but then it turns out that they actually were related. At least that's how it was with Fool Me Once. It was really cool. I feel like it was really well done and intricate. So we'll see. I literally trust no one right now, but I don't even know what I have to be suspicious of. I don't know if a murder is gonna happen. I kind of hope so because I like murder mysteries, not because I like death. I know it sounds weird that I just said I hope that there's a murder, but like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the extent of the mystery. I'm guessing not, because it's kind of a big book. Like it's almost 400 pages, so that's kind of big for a mystery thriller. So there's got to be other details to uncover here, and I'm excited to figure that out. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to keep all the characters straight and trying to blink past the spots I'm seeing. I don't recommend doing this, but like, I'm glad I'm doing it. I haven't been reading a whole lot lately, so I feel like I kind of need it. And I think I did do this in the right order. I feel like it was good to start at night because I was kind of able to rest up in preparation for it yesterday. And then just like getting over the hump of the night and then seeing the sunrise and getting kind of a burst of energy from that, I feel like that is the way to go. And then at the end of it, I can just sleep because it'll be like at 8. at night, and that's a good bedtime. I mean, it's pretty early, but like that's healthy. And also I only miss one day because the rest of it is happening at night, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to reading before my brain shuts off entirely. Halfway officially, yay. I did not even have this on my radar. Sorry about the weird lighting, but it's daylight savings day. So it's 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. I don't even know when that happened. How does the clock even do that? Man, it would have been the perfect opportunity to track when that happened, but I forgot. I completely did not have that on my radar. So the halfway mark is now 9 a.m. and then it's gonna end at 9 p.m. tonight. So I'm not gonna be going to bed as early as I would have liked, but I mean, that's fine. It's still pretty early for when I normally go to bed. But I am starving now, so I'm going to take care of that for sure. But it's taking me so long to read this book. Look how far I am. I've been reading it for like almost 2 hours. Oh my goodness. My brain is dying officially. I guess that's the downside of reading for 24 hours straight, is you don't really get an accurate read on how many books you can read within a 24-hour period. It's more just like seeing if you can do it nonstop, which I haven't exactly been doing it nonstop because, you know, I take breaks to update you guys. I'm gonna have to take a break to eat. I keep having to like take care of the pets a little bit, so that's the thing. But it's the best we're gonna get, so yeah. But I am going to fix myself some breakfast. I do not usually eat breakfast, but I definitely need it today because I'm starving. Yep, I'm gonna do that and read while that happens. We don't have yogurt, so way more nutritious. I had to change out of my other hoodie because I spilled water on it. Oh man, this is the worst I've felt so far. How many hours into it? Oh wow. It hasn't even been an hour since I last updated you. It's almost 13 hours in. Oh no. And I'm gonna crack open my last energy drink. There's a lot of energy drinks. I'm like concerned for my systems. I don't know which systems it damages, but I hope it's not an important system. I'm almost halfway through. I want a nap. If this doesn't kick in time, maybe I'll just take a 20-minute power nap. Those usually rejuvenate me. I don't know why I get tired more in the day. The sun is out and it's beautiful. I'm such a night owl. It's not fair. We can do this. Must be strong. This is really yummy, actually. The flavor is chaotic with a K. Okay. I hope it's energizing enough. I feel like this is the part of Harlan Coben stories where everything just feels so like, oh boy, I feel like something's about to go down and something is very not what we think. So I'm excited for that. But I've lost so much reading time because of the pets that I'm watching right now. I didn't know that I would be having to watch my brother's dog when I was planning this. That was something that was kind of sprung on me that I didn't really realize was gonna happen. And it was super easy during the night because they were just sleeping, but now they're like every freaking second. They're either messing with something or need to go outside or whining or some. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys are toddlers. I guess that's what happens, but like I'm trying to do a challenge right now and I'm probably losing so much time. So that really sucks. So I'm still not finished with this and I'm running out of time probably. Let me see, probably at 16 hours about that. Yeah, I'm at 16 hours, 16 minutes. So I have 8 hours left. So that's probably just enough time to finish A Man Called Ove. Let me look at how long that audiobook is. I'm gonna speed it up probably, but let me just see. Bright young women, sick of swimming. It's 9 hours. Ooh, am I gonna have time for this? I don't know, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're probably gonna finish it anyway. I'm just gonna keep on going. Hopefully these guys calm down and I can actually get some reading done. I got to the plot twist. That's pretty good. I didn't really see it coming. I saw a couple portions of it coming, but not like the actual big reveal. So that's pretty good. All right, I finally finished The Stranger. I am now at 17 hours, 21 minutes. So that leaves me 6.5 hours to read A Man Called Ove. That might be enough, but I might be getting interrupted. by my friends here. So who knows? But I will hopefully be doing that. But yeah, this book was pretty good. I'm probably gonna give it like a 4-star. Yeah, it was definitely like very intricate and there's a lot of details. Like I said, like I feel like his mysteries are usually like there's a lot of details that seem unrelated, a lot of kind of subplots that seem unrelated, but then by the end it's all connected and there's all a reason for it. So that's really cool. I like that. I have some chores to do that I'm just like itching to do. I've been like watching the kitchen get dirty and I'm just like, I must clean it. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do that while listening to the audiobook, and that's going to be a much needed respite. I've kind of got a second wind, but I'm still like very sleep deprived. So I will survive. Alright, I'm 47% through the audiobook. I don't know if you can see that. 47%. And we are 19 hours and 58 minutes in, so 4 hours and 2 minutes more. We're so close. But this book is so good. Like, so far, I would say like literally everyone read it. Like, I don't even care like what your taste in books is. You should read it. That's how I'm feeling right now. I swear, I'm getting like such dramatic reactions. Like, either I'm laughing because it's hilarious or I am totally swooning because it's kind of like dual timeline where it goes back and forth between this old man and I guess it's Norwegian because they say kroner and that's the Norwegian currency. I don't know if that's in any other countries, but I know that's in Norway. So I think it's pronounced Ova instead of Ove because that's the way that the Norwegians would pronounce it. But this old man Ova is like super grumpy and like very loves the old ways. Like anything that's new is not improved and like the old ways are always better kind of guy. And so he's always so grumpy and bitter about anything that's ever changed. So that's really funny. But he has a wife and it's kind of the way that they reveal that she's dead is so interesting because he refers to her in the present tense where it's like his wife still chides him about this and the way that he puts his coat here, like that his wife just reprimands him for that. And so it's almost like he's in denial that she's dead or something, and it's not till like chapter 4 that it actually says that he misses her because she's dead. So that's really interesting, but he basically thinks of his life as like over now and he wants to, it's kind of like dark, but the way that they do it is kind of comedic where he is so dead set on killing himself so he can go join his wife, but every time he tries he fails because he gets interrupted by something or other. And I'm guessing that it's going to turn into like an up kind of situation where he's going to become positive and realize that life is worth living even if the love of his life is gone. But anyway, I was saying that it's dual timeline between like the present and his backstory, why he became the way that he is, but also how he met his wife and how they fell in love, and it is so cute. I'm like, honestly, I don't blame you for being so in love and like feeling like that is your life. That is just so romantic to me. Like that is more romantic than like if you can fall in love and like stay totally in love into your elder years and stuff. That is just the most romantic thing you can possibly think of. So I'm just like, every time he says how he feels about her, I'm just like, that is so cute. Literally goals. So I'm loving that. I'm really loving it. It's funny because he's like so grumpy, but it's like very comedic. The way that he's like grumpy, the things that he gets grumpy about is so funny. And the way that it's written, I wonder if it was actually originally in Norwegian or if this just takes place in Norway. Oh, maybe it was it? Do they use kroner in Sweden? I did not know that. So I guess it's kind of like euros where like several countries use it. Okay, maybe it's Swedish? Okay, it is Swedish. Okay, Sweden. I don't know, I've never been to Sweden, but I've been to Norway and I know that they use kroner there and the languages are very similar. So yeah, so it was originally in Swedish. That's really cool, but whoever translated it is so funny because the wording is hilarious. So I'm just like, I'm totally having a blast. It really reminds me of Up and how it's like about a grumpy old man whose wife died and then finds that life is still worth living. And so I'm really loving that, and it's really cute because he's kind of encountering like this young couple that moved in on his street, like his neighborhood, and they keep on like interacting with him and like being all bubbly and young and like sweet, and he's just like, Oh my gosh, like, get these people away. I'm trying to kill myself. Like, can you please stop interrupting? There was like one line that was like, I forget what he called them, lunatics or maniacs or something. It was like, these maniacs won't let an old man die in peace. Like, what's wrong with people these days? But I am totally loving it. Honestly, 5-star potential 100%. Like, yeah. And I'm already like almost tearing up. I'm already like getting the bubble in my throat, and so I'm like, oh no. I'm just working on my paint by number while I listen to it because it's keeping me awake. And we're in the home stretch, so I don't want to fall asleep. I want to finish this out. So I'm just gonna keep on doing that. First tears for the stupid. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. I am so in for it. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. It wasn't even like that. It just hit me really hard. It was just kind of like random and just really sweet, but it like hit me. I really like this book. Whose idea was this? Oh. I'm scared. What the heck? Cancel the video. I'm done. I'm fine. This is fine. I'm actually so fine right now. I haven't slept in 36 hours and now I have to finish it. Oh no. Oh my gosh. That wasn't fair. Really not fair. Well, that was a good book, I guess. Yeah, I stick by what I said earlier. I feel like it's just like the kind of book that everyone should read. 5 stars. Goes without saying, but thought I'd just confirm. I still have some time left. I can't read something after that. Oh my gosh. I just need to like contemplate or something. I can't just move on. I'm a mess. Once I'm ready, I can maybe just spend the rest of the time reading that one book that I DNF'd. Oh my gosh, I just can't. Going from this to that is so stupid. I have to complete the challenge though. I have to stay strong, even though I can't think about it. That was just so beautiful. I just can't. It's just so amazing when people find something to live for. I'm kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm fine. Let me just grab the book. It's just to complete the challenge. I'm probably not gonna actually read this book. Probably not gonna finish it. I probably won't have any desire to read the other books in the series. But I gotta finish out the challenge. We have an hour and 9 minutes. Go. Okay, serious question. So there was a little comment in this about how the main character's twin is to get married and to birth heirs and stuff. And the sister like mentions that like, oh, once I birth heirs, and her sister's like so shocked about the fact that she's going to be doing that. And then it says, everyone around me seemed so willing to play these parts, like of a man and a woman. Some even seemed like they wanted them. And I'm like, what's wrong with wanting it? Like, I can see where it would be wrong if you were forcing every single woman into that kind of life. Like, it's a difference between like forcing it and making it like there's no choice whatsoever. But if you're given the choice and you are okay with it and you want it, like some people even want to birth babies. Like, can you imagine? Like, why is that so bad? birthing babies sounds great, and it's also a big part of what a female body is. It's not all there is, but it is a big part of it. So like, I don't see what the problem is with wanting it. If you don't want it, cool, but like, why is it bad if you do want it? It's like she's incredulous that some people would want to birth heirs. Like, that's crazy. Well, if no one does that, then you're gonna die out. I don't know. So like, serious question, like, why is that a bad thing to want? Because she's obviously saying like, if it's mandatory, then that ain't so great. But like, the main character herself is choosing against that life, and it's fine. Like, there's a bunch of like female guards in this world. Like, it's not mandatory. You're given the choice. And sometimes you're just like aware that it's your duty. Like Briar, like she's like, yep, I'm gonna be doing this and that. And it's like, she's like, why do you want this? I don't know. There's a lot of nuance there, but like the fact that it said like some people even want it, I'm like, and? So, serious question. Is there an issue with that? I did it. I'm gonna cry. Oh wait, I already did cry. So that's not even that crazy. Oh, my doggy wants attention. Alrighty, so I got to 5 books, which is more than I thought I would get to, despite my many distractions and my attention span not being... What are you doing? What was I saying? Yeah, so I got to 5 books. So to recap, the first one that I finished was Cruel Illusions by Margie Fuston. This one was such a middle of the road for me because the concept is so good. If it was like in a medieval world, I feel like that would really improve on it. And there was just like, the descriptions were lacking, but there were some scenes that just hit so hard, and so it was very like middle of the road. So that's why I'm gonna give it a 3-star. But it was really, I mean, I feel like it is worth checking out to see if you enjoy it, just because of how cool the concept is. I was like thinking of art in my brain for it. Like, that would be a really cool concept art subject. So if you're at all interested in that, check it out. And then after that, I mean, I guess I kind of picked this up. I got to, how far did I get? I did not get far. I also got distracted because my cat started chasing a mouse, and that was way more entertaining than what was happening here. I got this far, so that's not that far. My brain was very like, throughout this. Insufferable main character. Insufferable. Such a victim. Like, it has nothing to do with her being a strong female. Like, look at some of my favorite books have a main character that is a strong female. That is not my problem with it. Her attitude is the worst. I'm like, I can't stand to be in your brain right now. Yeah, I mentioned a lot of my problems with it, so I won't go into detail again, but it was just very like, I don't know, main character energy, insecurity over nothing, and victimization over nothing. Are you still chasing the mouse? Oh my days. Is it gonna scurry across the floor? Anyway, the next one that I read was These Infinite Threads, the sequel to This Woven Kingdom, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I was swooning over the romance so hard. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I'm going to finish this, but for now, sitting on a comfy 1-star. Yeah, fantastic. Yes, 4.5 stars for this one. Absolutely loved it. There was just so much about it that I loved. The budding of the romance, the really cool world building, and a little more exploration of the main characters. It was too short. It was too short. I felt like this took place over the span of just a couple days because we were kind of bouncing back between POVs. And so I really wish it was longer. I wish that we covered more stuff, but what we did cover was so great. I loved it. Yeah, so fantastic. I did not really have high hopes for the sequel, to be honest, because the first book did not make the biggest impact on me. Like, I didn't super care about it, but wow, did this make me care about it more. I'm just gonna say. All right, and then I read The Stranger by Harlan Coben. Really solid mystery thriller where it's a little bit more of a mystery than a thriller. The stuff that happened wasn't super like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? It was just like unraveling a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's a whole lot of like scattering of clues, and then at the end you realize that it's all connected, and it gets kind of confusing. This is the one that I read when I was the most sleep deprived and getting the most distracted with the pets and stuff. It was like a little bit confusing for me, so I couldn't like really think about how I would solve it or whatever. So I only got a few of the things right, because usually with like reveals or like solutions to a mystery, there's like a lot of different aspects to it. I don't know. So I got a few of those aspects correct, but my brain was much too sleep deprived to continue any of that, my thought process is on that. So very nice, very solid 4-star thriller mystery. Yep, highly recommend his stuff and his Netflix series is, because those are really good too. Richard Armitage stars in this, so like, enough said. And then my heart. Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. I mean, you saw how rawly this book got a reaction of me. Like, I just visceral reactions to this book, both in joy and laughter and in just like adoration, but also sorrow. Such a mixed emotion. Like what a good author. Like, I'm so attached to these characters, and like they're so cute, they're so lovable. Ove's character development is so beautiful. Yeah, like I said, it's just so wonderful to watch someone find something to live for, find hope in his life, even if he thought that he lost it all. So it's so fantastic. Like, seriously, like, no matter who you are, I recommend this book 100%. 5 stars. You can't get a higher positivity rating out of me, honestly. It's like 6 star, 5 star, 6 star, 7 star, like whatever the stars. So beautiful. So beautiful. I want all my family to read this book. So yes, these are the 5 books that I was able to touch on. The only one that I did not finish was this one, or you didn't even see that, this one. And I don't even know if I will, because it was just not great. So don't recommend that one personally. There's probably a gazillion other fantasies that are the same thing, but so much better. So I don't recommend checking that out, but everything else I do recommend. Everything else had overall positive experience and overall positive reactions out of me. So that is so fantastic. I would consider my first 24 hours straight readathon a success. I'm gonna go sleep now. Okay, bye!